Hey, shalom, family, at this time. May the peace of y'all be with each and every one of you, brothers and sisters. May the peace of y'all come upon you, brothers and sisters. And true peace will come, brothers and sisters, when we leave this land and get back home. So, what I'm about to share with you now, a very important video, brothers and sisters, at this time. Yes, teaching the Sabbath, the Shaddai Yahweh. It's so important that we teach our Yahweh, brothers and sisters, because His way is perfect. So we must look back at the beginning and go back to the beginning where the Sabbath all got started at, and where it shows it at in Exodus chapter 16 and verse 1. We're going to start all with at this time, brother. So this is a very important video to show you. I'm going to take you through the present and what took place in between, in the past, and at the present day. And then I'm going to end all showing you what's going to take place in the latter days, in the future, when we get back home. All of this is important, brothers and sisters, so you can walk in the ways of Yah and understand the instructions of Yah, because different instructions came at different times concerning the feast days, the 7 days of Yah, even to the time when He stopped it. You're going to see all of these things and even in the time when He's going to reinstate these things, brothers and sisters, by whom and with whom. You're going to see all of these things, brothers and sisters. So right now, let's begin at Exodus 16, verse 1. It said, now they left Elam. Let me give them. They left Elam and journeyed on into Zin wilderness between Elam and Mount Sinai, arriving there on the 15th day of the second moon. They call month, the monetary month, after leaving Egypt. And there too the people spoke bitterly against who? Moshe and Aaron, the two brothers. They were saying, oh, that we were back in Egypt. They moaned, which is they complained, and that Yah, right here, my son crossed off Lord, but Yah had killed us. That's what they was hoping. They was saying in their anger. It said, therefore, there we had plenty to eat, but now you have brought us into this wilderness to kill us with starvation. This was their words. I'm reading this from the translation called the Living Bible, paraphrase translation by the publishing company Tinsdale at this time. Continue verse 4. Then Yah said to Moshe, look, I am going to rain down food from heaven for them. Everyone can go out each day and gather as much food as he needs. And I will test them in this to see whether they will follow my instructions. See, that's what it's all about. Following the instructions of Yah. Or not. It said, tell them to gather twice as much as usual on the 6th day of each week. Because that was for a purpose. Because on the 7th day, it wouldn't be none together. It said, then, showing that we know it's supposed to work on the 7th. It said, right here, let me go over here and keep reading. It said, then Moshe and Aaron called a meeting of all the people of Yashael Yah and told them, this evening you shall realize that it was Yah who brought you out of the land of Egypt, which is Mizraim. See that right there. they were losing fast in their mind that Yah was the one that brought them out. He was their caretaker. But because they hunger, they start even turning away from Yah and complaining against Yah's servants. So keep in mind that many do today. So let me find my place again. I'll take my hand off the mark. Okay, 7. Right here. It say, in the morning you will see more of his honor. They got glory, but it's honor. For he has heard your complaints against him. For you aren't really complaining against us who are we. So Yah will give you meat to eat. You see that? Meat. He gave them meat to eat. We're not vegetarians at all, but people still fighting against Yah. He said, I will give you meat to eat in the evening and bread in the morning. Come now before Yah. They got Jehovah, but it said, come now before Yah and hear his reply to your complaints. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. As I'm gonna drop down to verse 23. So this was the establishment right here of the Sabbath he gave to the people of Yah, of the children of Yashael Yah for the first time. In verse 23, right here starts right here of the same chapter 16, and he told them, because Yah has appointed tomorrow as a day of seriousness and rest, a Kodesh. So they got holy, but it's Kodesh Sabbath to Yah, when we must refrain from doing our daily tasks. So cook as much as you want today, right here. Continue off here today, and keep what is left overnight. And the next morning, the food was wholesome. They got good, but tasty, without maggots or odor. So Moshe said, this is your food for today. For today is the Sabbath to Yah. And there will be no food on the ground today. Gather the food for 6 days, but the seventh is the seventh is the Sabbath, and there will be none there for you on that day. Keep in mind how far I'm going to go with that. So I want to stop that off right there. I'm going down. Excuse me, I'm going down a little bit further, down to verse 30. So right there, he's saying there'll be no food on that day, on the Sabbath. Verse 27. It said, but some of the people went out anyway. See, they didn't follow instructions to gather food, even though it was the Sabbath. But there wasn't any. How long would these people refuse to obey? See, to follow instructions. Yah asked Moshe, don't they realize that I am giving them twice as much on the 6th day so that there will be enough for 2 days. That was the pattern. See, it said, for Yah has given you the 7th day as a day of Sabbath. Rest. See, Sabbath means rest in English. So he give you the 7th day for the day of rest. Stay in your tents and don't go out to pick up food from the ground that day. So the people rested on the 7th day. See, so keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. That was instruction. It's all about instructions to Yah. And so I'm gonna go to verse 20 to show you. Remember, we looking at the beginning how it all got started, and now this is a reminder. See, this is a reminder of the law. You can find it in chapter 20 of Exodus. Everybody know that's where they got showed 10 commandments of the many of Yah's commandments. So right here in verse 20, verse 8, it reads. It starts right off the bat. Remember. See, this is a reminder. It's a remember to obey. Excuse me. Remember to observe. That means, which is to watch, to keep the Sabbath as a Kodesh day, which is a set apart day. 6 days work are for your. 6 days. 6 days at work are for your daily duties and your regular work. But the 7th day is a day of the Sabbath. See, rest. Rest before Yah, your Bara, your Creator. It said, on that day you are to do no work of any kind, nor shall your sons, your daughters, or slaves, whether men or women, or your cattle, or your house guests. So I'm going to cut that off right there. So keep that in mind right there, brothers and sisters. I showed the establishment. I showed the reminder of the law. Now we're going to go to Numbers. Because, see, at different times of their walk, and this all took place before they got into the land, Abiyah gave them instructions from time to time. These are things we got to remember. That's why we got to follow the instructions of Yah and know each time period. I'm walking you through the time period. Even one scripture show you, Abiyah said, this is a sign between me and you throughout your generation forever. If you look at the word ever, it means continuance. But only Abiyah can stop something and he can restart and reinstate something. That's what you got to remember. Right there, I showed you the establishment in Exodus chapter 16. Let me go to now past Numbers. I'm going to Numbers at this time in 28. Numbers 28. Let me get there. Give me a moment. Numbers 28 and verse 1 to 10 I'm going to read. In verse 1 to 10 in Numbers, give me a moment, right here. It's very important. This is what we get into. I'll be talking, showed Moshe about, at this point, he showed Moshe about the offerings. It's an offering required for all of these things. Abiyah gave the Moshe this instruction and also to give to the whole nation. You see, Abiyah do everything in detail, brother and sister, when he carry out his order. Even one asked it carried out in detail, not leaving one thing left off. If you do, you break it. If you try to change it, you break it. You do it in another way, you break it. So right here, it said, Yah gave Moshe these instructions, see, to give to the people of Yashayel Yah. You get that? The offerings which you burn on the altar, see, the slaughter place, for me are my food and are a pleasure to me. See, these things are pleasure to Yah. So let's keep going. I hope you can see this. So It's right here. It says, so see to it that they are brought regularly, see, and are offered as I have instructed, see, according to all your instruction, instruct you. See, when you make an offering by fire, you shall use a yearling, so 1-year-old male lambs, each without this defect. See that? Each without defects. We're going to get into all the defects. And see, now you're going to begin to see what God has put out of the land. And why y'all stopped at all of these appointed days for us. But let's get into it. These are the instructions. Bring the offering without defects. 2 of them shall be offered each day as a regular burnt offering. One lamb shall be offered, with its sacrifice, but it's offered in the morning. The other in the evening. Why I say evening? Evening is between when the sun first goes down and the sun set. When the sun set, it begins a new day. But in between the evening, the sun normally goes down between 3 and sets between around 6. So during that time period, the offerings will take place. See, in the evening, that evening offering. So right here, it say, with them shall be offered a grain offering of 3 quarts of finely ground flour mixed with 3 pints of oil. This is the burnt offering ordained on Mount Sinai to be regularly offered. See, regularly, every day offered as a fragrant odor. See, some translations say sweet smelling odor. As offered made by fire to Yah. It's along with it. See, along with it on daily, it shall be the drink offering, consisting of 3 pints of strong wine with each lamb. You see that? Remember the morning and the evening with each lamb. Pour out in the Kodesh place, see? Before Yah. Offer the second lamb in this evening with the same grain offering and drink offering. It too is a fragrant odor to Yah, a offering made by fire. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. Right here, verse 9 showed you about the Sabbath. It said, on the Sabbath day, you get that. See, remember, the early instruction, that's why we got to know everything about Yah in detail. You leave out one thing, you'll be trespassing his law. You'll be breaking his law. And don't even know. It said, on the Sabbath day, which is offering, they got sacrifice, but it's offering, offered 2 yearling male lambs, both without defect. You see that? There it goes again. Remember, the slaughter place was built without defect. That was bring everything we put on it is without defect. You can see when our ancestors put unclean animals on there, defected animals on there. They were clean animals, but they had defects in it that defiled and profaned the name of Yah, and defiled the temple and the slaughter place in ourselves. You can see that Our ancestors did these things. That got them put out the land and put the curse on us. See, it said without defects. These are the instructions in addition to the regular offerings. See, remember we got the regular offerings going in that way now, and this is the Sabbath offering. In addition to, they are to be accompanied by a grain offering of 6 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil and the usual drink offering. We read that, so keep that in mind. How far I'm going to go down? Okay, the verse 13. I'm gonna stop right there. So now we got the requirements that was added later from the beginning. See, now at here, I gave them some different information how to conduct each Sabbath. So keep that in mind. So from that point, we got that point, we're going to go into the prophets. Writings that came from Yah. So in Malachi, so now we got from the beginning of the offerings and to more instruction that was given concerning the Sabbaths. Yes, we got from the beginning how the Sabbath got started with us. And then we went into some more additional instruction that was given to Moshe to give to the whole nation. So we ought to be on one accord. See, everything we do, even in Sabbath, when we being restated, we all notice at the same time. It won't be beaming around with everybody with a million different opinions. See, everybody started off knowing this knowledge in the beginning, a light. It was passed down to them through Moshe. So in Malachi chapter 1, verse 6, I'm going to start off with, brothers and sisters, to show you where our people started to turn from Yah. Remember, when you know about this covenant agreement, if you turn from Yah, you bring restrictions on yourself and curses. That's why the Sabbath got stopped. You're going to see that right here. So right here, in chapter 1 of Malachi, but the real name is Malachi, y'all. We're going to read in chapter 1, verse 6 at this time. It's a son honors his father, a servant honors his master. I am your father, which is Abba, and master, yet you don't honor me, O priest. You see the priest? The priest stopped honoring the Abba. At one time, they was honoring the Abba at one time, but they stopped. See how Abba got on right there? He said, you don't honor me, O priest, but you despise my name. And Abba shows how you despise his name, hate his name. He said, who? Now, this was their question, who? Us? You say, when did we ever despise your name? Now I'll reply to them, when you offered, polluted offerings on my slaughter place, my altar. See, this is what it was always about, brothers and sisters, right here. We got to put out of the land, in addition to all the other sins. So let's keep reading. Polluted offerings. When have we ever, that's the reply, done a thing like that? Replied again from Yah. Every time you say don't bother bringing anything very valuable to offer to Barah, who is the creator. He said, you tell the people, lame animals, see that? Lame, defective animals, lame animals are all right. That's not the words of Yah, but that's what they told the people. So, but people going to take it like they got the words from Yah. But they didn't. It said, let me read it. It said, are all right to offer on the altar. And the same people today don't want to tell you, it's all right to keep the Sabbath. But let me finish. But this is what the people were saying back then. It's all right to offer on the altar of Yah. It said, yes, even the sick and blind ones. And you claim this isn't evil. See, that's what the priests were doing. Oh, it's not evil at all. So they blinded the minds of the people of the truth. And so then it said, try it on your governor sometime. Give him gifts like that and see how pleased he is. Let me continue. It said, but Ra, have mercy on us. That's what they were saying. Now they're trying to make a plea. But Ra, have mercy on us. You recite. And but Ra, be merciful to us. But when you bring, so you're going to reply, that kind of gift, see, why should he show you? See, this the prophet telling them, replying back to them. When you say, why should he show you any mercy at all? They got favor at all, but mercy at all, or kindness at all. Let me continue down. It said, oh, to find one priest among you who will shut the doors, see, and refuse them kind or this kind of offering. See, that's what he was saying. The prophet was saying to the priest, I have no pleasure in you, says Yah of hosts. That's what all Yah had the prophet to tell the priest. And I will not accept, see, your offerings. See how Abiyah shutting the door. He's sent the prophet to tell him. He's shutting the door on them now. I'm going to go down to the 14th verse right here. Let me continue. He said, but my name will be honored by the Gentiles, see, the nation, from morning till evening, until night. They ain't come yet, but they're going to come. All around the world, they will offer sweet incense and pour offerings in honor of my name. It's going to come to pass when the righteous get back home, the ones I'll be going to clean up and become perfect and follow every detailed instructions of Yah. Let me continue to read. It said, for my name shall be great among the nations, says Yah of hosts. It said, but you dishonor it, saying that my altar is not important, and encourage the people to bring cheap, sick animals to offer to me on it. You say, oh, it's too difficult to serve Yah and do what he asked. And you, this is what the priest was saying right here. Turn up your noses at the rules he has given you to obey. See what the prophet Malachiah was telling the priest? It said, think of it, stolen animals, lame and sick as offerings to Barah. Should I accept such offerings as these, as Y'all, cursed is that man who promised a fine ram from his flock and substitute a sick one to offer to Barah. For I am a great king, says Yah of hosts, and my name is to be mighty reverence among the nations. You see that, brothers and sisters? That's what it was all about. Let me get to chapter 2. I'm going to continue off in chapter 2, verse 1 to 13. See, we're going over the history of what took place. And now we into the part of the evilness they were doing at that time period. I said, listen, you priests. See, the prophets was coming after the priests, because the priests what led the people of Yah astray. And you can see that right here. It said, listen, you priests, to this warning from Yah of hosts, see the heavenly army, the multitude. It said, if you don't change your ways and give honor to my name, which they didn't, that's why we out of the land. So let me keep reading. We're going over the history. Then I will send terrible punishment, and boy, we have it, upon you, instead of giving you blessings as I would like to. You see that? Let's look at this for a minute. See the blessings? We don't have the blessings at this time of Yah. We don't even have the land. The blessing come with inside obedience to Yah. So keep that in mind. It's like I would like to. It's I would turn on you with curses. You see that? And boy, he did. It said, indeed, I have cursed you already, because you haven't taken seriously the things that are most important to me. You see that? The things he instructed us to do, all the things I'll be telling us to do is important to us. Because, let me keep reading. He said, take note. It said, take note that I will rebuke your children. You see that? Which is us. He said, take note, and we are the remnant of them. He said, I will rebuke your children. See, for their mistakes. And I will spread on your faces the manure of the animals you offered me, and throw you out like dung. These are the words of Yah. Anybody check the record? That's exactly what took place to our people. Like excrement, we got thrown out of that land. See, y'all don't play, brothers and sisters. It said, then at last you will know it was I who sent you this warning. To return to the laws. You see that, brothers and sisters? I gave your fathers. Levi. See, the priest says Yah of hosts. Let me continue. It said, excuse me. Now they're going over the person. The purpose, now you're learning the reason of these laws was to give him life and shalom, peace. You see the purpose? To be a means of showing his respect and all, see, great reverence, all for me by keeping them. He passed on to the people all the truth he got from me. You see that? How it works, brothers and sisters? All this was done by the people, just like us, that at the time when they obeyed Yah, to pass on the truth. That's why in the Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 4, I'll say he gonna raise up reliable ones to bring this back, to bring forth this truth of Yah back to the people again. But let's continue on what took place. And he did not lie or cheat. See, Levi, the priest at one time did not lie or cheat. He walked. See, he walked with me, living a righteous, a benefit and right life. They got the word good, but it's not good. But a beneficial and righteous life. And turn many from their lives of sin. You get that, brothers? This is very important right here to know that. Because this way they try to say and get this characteristic that was on the priest to a fake Messiah. See, it was the priest, and you can see that was the message of Yah that bears the truth of Yah, that turned many away from sin by the truth of Yah, the laws. So let's keep going right here. See, it said, and turn many from their lives of sin. See, so I go, priest's lips shall flow with the knowledge of Barak. So the people will learn. See, the priests are responsible to flow from out of their mouths the knowledge of Barak. Not their own, but the knowledge of Barak. So the people will learn Barak laws. You see that? It's Torah. It said the priests, which is another word, the Hebrew word, not the Zaquin, the Kohans are the messengers. See, but they all can't be defiled. And now, in chapter 3, I'm not going to go there. In chapter 3 of Malachi, the same book, it shows the messenger of Yah will clean the priests of Yah. So they build the third temple and bring back the slaughter place. So let me keep reading. It's saying the priests are the messengers of Yah of hosts, and men shall come to them for guidance. You see that? So brothers, this is going to come back again. The messenger is going to clean the priests up of Yah. So Y'all give you the orders right here to show you. Y'all not going to come down here and talk to you face to face at this time. He set up responsible people to guide you in the ways of Yah. You got to take that to heart, brothers and sisters. Now do you want to do it on your own? So right here, this is the order right here. Y'all saying the priests are the messengers. See, everybody ain't the messengers of Yah, but the priests are the messengers of Yah of hosts. And men should. See, it's saying men should. Everybody ain't going to obey, but mankind should come to them for guidance. But not to you, for you have left Yah's, see, Barak path. See, he said not to them priests at that time. They was appointed for the curse. But he was telling them at that time when the priest was in clean state and when it be reinstated. So keep that in mind. We're going over it right now. He's showing them how they cut off. He said, but have you left Barak paths? Your guidance, see, he said, your guidance has caused many to stumble and sin. See, the priests that turn from Yah. You have distorted the covenant. See, the agreement of of Levi. See, the covenant that was given to Levi through Moshe, the priest turned from Yah and distorted the covenant, the agreement of Levi to keep and to present to the people of Yah. They broke the covenant. Like people say, the Levitical priesthood covenant that was given to them by Moshe for the people of Yah to guide them to Yah, life and peace. So keep that in mind. And make it into a gross ski parody, saying says Yah of hosts. See, they made it a detestable thing, a hateful thing in the eyes of the people, a dishonorable thing. Let me continue to keep reading. Therefore, I have made you contemptible in the eyes of all the people. You see that? A dishonor. See, contemptible in the eyes of all the people. See, that's why the priests right now, today, don't even have honor. But it's going to be given again when they follow and listen to the messenger of Yah. And they will become clean again, brothers and sisters, and honor will be restored to them. So they could guide the people of Yah in the ways of Yah. So right here, it says, for you have not obeyed me, but you let your favorite, see, break the law without rebuke, see, without correcting them. So let me continue to read. It said, we are children of the same father, Abraham, all created by the same Barah, see the creator, and how far I'm okay, I almost jumped over the wrong side. And yet we are faithless to each other, violating the covenant of our ancestors, see, fathers. It's an in Yada, in Yashayel Yah, and in Yashalom, the city, the Kodesh city, there is treachery, see. For men of Yada have defiled Barah's Kodesh and beloved temple. You see that? By marrying heathen foreign women who worship idols. You get that? May Yah cut off from his covenant every last man, whether priest or layman, who has done this thing. How far I'm going to go down with this right here? I'm going to go down to verse 13 right here and say, let me read it a little bit more. It says, yet you cover the altar with your tears because Yah doesn't pay attention to. Oh, let me make sure I got my right place. Attention to your offerings anymore. And you receive no blessings from him. You see that? The blessings, everything got cut off to the point we got put out. We never experienced another blessing from Yah since the time of the stating of this word, brothers and sisters, right here. Never, not unto this day, because we still in captivity. Not until we rally, unite, and lead this land, we will not receive the blessings of Yah. We only have mercy at the time. So all the things you gather up and achieve, and the millions of dollars, whatever you may have to be, that's not the blessings of Yah. It's much greater than that. So right here, let me continue to read. Say, why has Bara abandoned us? You cried. I tell you why it is, because Yah has seen your treachery in divorcing your wives who have been faithful to you throughout the years. I didn't tend to go that far, but that's to see all of these reasons right here, brothers and sisters, and that's the name one of the reasons why Abiyah abandoned us. See, so that's why when Abiyah abandoned us, if he abandoned you, anything you do for him, he don't acknowledge these things, brothers and sisters. See, that's why Milner 5 said, when he abandoned us, he said he's going to cast us out into the grave of exile. But once he said in Ezekiel 37, can these dry bones live? See, he gonna rise us up again and give us the knowledge to bring us back home. And then he said he's going to clean us up. You can find that in Ezekiel chapter 36. He said he's going to clean us up like water been sprinkled on us. He's going to clean us up and remove the sins. See, not until we get home, these sins are going to be removed, brothers and sisters. But right now, we are at the a rising up out of the grave of exile, moving away from captivity. That's why we got to go into the wilderness like they done on the first time, and just the second time, and the last time to get the covenant renewed. So you got to have all of this knowledge, brothers and sisters. I'm going to go to Hosea at this time. The prophet book, Hosea. Hosea chapter 2. You got to see all of these things, brothers and sisters. You got to see the beginning and the in-between and the present. And then what's going to take place in the future. Right here, in addition to what I read to you, this from the prophet Hosea, another prophet of Yah, chapter 2, verse 11. He said, I will put an end to all they got joys, her parties, holidays, and feasts. And they cut it already did. So let me go to the other translation because it highlights certain points that you need to know. That's why it's great to have multiple translations. This is called the scriptures. So right here, I'm going to go to the same prophet book, Hosea. So give me a moment. Let me find it. Sometimes take me a minute. I'm doing this in love that you may know our past and walk you up to the present and then take you into the future date. We got to know all of these things, brothers and sisters. We got to know how all these things line up. We got to know what took place. That's why history, and to know your own history is very important, or somebody could come in and deceive you. They'll give you a part of it. That's when the time we was keeping it, and all the words fathers say, but don't show you the time when Abiyah stopped these things right here. And they don't understand when the time Abiyah, they don't even know when Abiyah going to bring them back, but I'm going to show you the day. So right here in 2:11 of Hosea, right here, I'm going to read to you. 2:11, let me get my place. 2:11 right here. He said, and I shall cause all her rejoicing. They got festival, but her feast, what included in the feast day. If you go to Leviticus chapter 23, you'll see there, inside it talk about the weekly Sabbaths. That's the weekly, no, take it back. That's the high Sabbaths. Not the weekly Sabbath, but the high Sabbaths go with some of these feast days. So right here, he said, I shall cause all of her rejoicing. See, all her celebrating, all the things we rejoice in on the feast days, her new moons that we celebrate, and her Sabbath. See, this is the weekly Sabbath. See, her Sabbaths, all to see. These Yah words. Even all her appointed times. See, what it say? Some, all her appointed times to cease. Stop. Then you have a lie to come and tell you some bull crap, not even the words of Yah, brothers and sisters. He said, anybody know what cease means? Dead. Stop. Done. Even though the Father, see, he could tell you it's something forever, but if you just obey him, he cut you off, like I read to you in the prophets. You done. It's done for you. Why do you think that's why the Father said they rising up out of the grave? We was dead. We was dead to you. When Abiyah mean dead, he talking spiritual dead. We dead to Yah. Why do you think Abia allowed all of these things to take place to us, to kill us, and all this? The 2/3 will be dead. 1/3 going to be come through the fire and refined and come home to be clean. Y'all don't play, brothers and sisters. I'm going to end this off to show you the time in the prophet book, Ezekiel chapter 45, verse 15. I'm going to show you. I'm going to read to you. To show you when things are going to be reestablished and by who. All of this is very important, brothers and sisters, for you to know. Chapter 45 and verse 15, begins with, to show you the time period. This 45, if you start off chapter 40 of Ezekiel, it shows you how the temple is going to be instituted. I'm going to be built, the third temple. How y'all going to come in and take a seat there and abide with us forever, in the midst of us forever. It's right here, brothers and sisters. It said in 15, it said, and one lamb from a flock. See, now it's showing you the animals is being reinstituted. That the King James Version the New Testament say that all offerings are done away with, and Abiyah didn't like the animal offerings. That was further from the truth. He didn't like defiled animal offerings. That's the truth right there, brothers and sisters. Now you know that whole book is a lie. Because right here, it shows you when it's coming back again. It's right here. It says, and the lamb from a flock from 200. Let me go and get this out of translation, brothers and sisters. Because right here, I will read it in the way this how it's going to be. This translation right here shows you a little bit better, where you can understand it better. So Ezekiel, I'm going to the prophet Ezekiel 45 and verse 16 at this time, right here. Ezekiel 45 and 16. Let me get my place. Give me a moment. Right here. Let's say, from each 200 sheep and all your flocks in Yashayeljah, give him one sheep. See? So telling you, out of each 200 sheep you have, you give him one sheep for the purpose for the offerings. During this time period, we're going to see. These are the meal offerings, the burnt offerings, and thanks offerings to make atonement. See, make atonement for those who bring them. See, it said for those who bring them. See, so we got to follow instruction and make for atonement for those who bring them. Says Yah Barah, and all the people of Yashayeljah shall bring their offerings. See, to the prince. The prince is the king. The king is the Messiah. And he's a priest of Yah. Ezekiel 37 show you that, brothers and sisters. And this is going to show you the function of the prince. It said the prince shall be required to furnish the people, see the people of Yah, Yashayeljah, with offerings. They got sacrifice, but it's offering for the public worship. Sin offering. You see that? So he's responsible to present this sin offering, burnt offerings, meal offerings, drink offerings, and thank offerings to make reconciliation for the people of Yashayeljah. See, that's the responsibility of the Messiah at that time. This shall be done at the time of the feast. See, they got religious feasts, but they added that word religious. At the time of the feast, the new moon ceremonies, the Sabbaths, and all other similar occasions. You get that, brothers and sisters. How far I'm going to go with this? I cut it off right there, but keep that in mind. Look, the Sabbath, brothers and sisters. That's the reinstitution of the Sabbath, brothers and sisters. And all the days that of y'all cease. We can't bring these things back on our own, brothers and sisters. Read here in 43. Let me get there real quick. But I'm going to back it up. 43, verse 27. Let's say right here of Ezekiel, the prophet. It said, on the 8th day and each day afterwards, the priest will offer on the altar the burnt offerings and the thank offerings of the people. And I will accept you, says Yah Barak. You see when Abiyah returned to acceptance of us again, and the priest, after he cut us off, if you read down to 18, chapter 43, the 18, the 27, the whole thing, you'll see that. Let me go back to the prophet to end it off with this, brothers and sisters, to show you right here how this is going to come all about right here in the time. We're getting near this time right here. In chapter 3, let me find my place real quick. Give me a moment. In chapter 3, verse 1, it reads right here. It says, listen, I will send my messenger before me to prepare the way, and then the one you are looking for will come suddenly to his temple. You see that? Showing that the temple going to be built. The messenger of Bara promises to bring you great joy. Yes, he is surely coming, says Yah of hosts, but who can live when he appears? Who can endure his coming? For he is like a blazing fire, refining precious metal. And he can bleach the dirtiest garments. Like a refiner of silver, he will set and closely watch as dross is burned away. He will purify the Levites. You see that? Ministers of Bara, refining them like gold or silver too. Gold or silver, so that they will do the work for Bara with pure hearts. You get that, brothers and sisters? Can I read yet a little bit more? Let me get my place. Then once more, Yah will enjoy the offerings brought to him by the people of Yada and Yashalom as he did before. At the time, my punishment will be quick and certain. I will move swiftly against the wicked men who trick the innocent, against adulterers and liars, and against all those who cheat their hired hands of those who cheat their higher hands or oppress widows and orphans, or defraud strangers, and do not fear me, says Yah of hosts. So keep all these things in mind, brothers and sisters. These are the words of Yah I give to you. These are the words of Yah I leave with you. With that, I say, Todah Yah.